So you want to join the military. If you're getting ready to take the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, or ASVAB, then you need to know how the ASVAB works, because your score could decide your future job. Actually, there are a few different scores for this one test. Stick with me, and I'll explain it all. Welcome to the U.S. Military Test Prep channel by Study.com. My name is Mattthew, and I'm a former U.S. Army soldier and an ASVAB test prep expert. In today's video, I'm going to cover everything that you need to know about understanding your scores on the ASVAB if you're looking to enlist in the United States military. I'll also explain how those numbers translate into your job. Let's get started by breaking down the scoring system and how you can qualify for your dream job. The ASVAB has 9 or 10 subtests depending on whether or not you're taking the paper version or the computerized version. These subtests check your knowledge in different areas like general science, arithmetic reasoning, word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, and mathematics knowledge. The other areas are electronics information, auto and shop information, mechanical comprehension, and assembling objects. You'll get a standard score for each one of the subtests. So what's a standard score? It's basically how you stack up against other people your age, specifically 18 to 23-year-olds in the US. The average score is 50, and the scoring system is built around that. 50 is your baseline, and a 10-point difference shows how far above or below average you are. So a 60, above average. A 40, below average. Higher scores show off your strengths in certain areas, which can be a game changer for landing specific jobs. You'll also get a percentile rank. This shows how your performance compares to others. For example, a percentile rank of 75 means that you scored better than 75% of standard test takers. Here's where it gets a bit more customized. Once you're eligible to enlist, the military will use your ASVAB scores to determine what kind of job you're best suited for within the service. These jobs are determined using composite scores, also called line scores. These are created by combining your standard scores from various subtests that are relevant to military-specific jobs. Each branch has its own way of combining subtest scores into composite scores. For example, the Army uses skilled technical or ST scores for some medical roles, while the Air Force might use general scores or G scores. Each military job has a minimum composite score requirement in one or more areas. For example, a technical job would look at your math and science scores. A more mechanical role, on the other hand, will care more about your understanding of mechanics and tools. Your composite scores really dictate what kind of jobs you qualify for, so they're worth paying attention to, especially if you have your eye on a specific job. I recommend doing some research and finding out exactly which subtests make up the composite score for the position that you want. Focusing your test prep on these subtests could really pay off in the long run. Your Armed Forces Qualifying Test, or AFQT score, is the most important. It decides whether or not you can even enlist at all. Each branch sets its own minimum score, so you have to clear that bar to move forward. The AFQT comes from a combination of scores on 4 key subtests. These subtests include arithmetic reasoning, which has basic math and word problems, and mathematics knowledge, which include a variety of math concepts. The other 2 subtests are word knowledge, which tests vocabulary and word meanings, and paragraph comprehension, which measures how well you can understand written materials. Your AFQT score is a percentile ranking, meaning that if you score above a 60, you did better than 60% of standard test takers. Each military branch has its own standards. Let's talk numbers and take a closer look at the minimum AFQT score you need to enlist in each branch of the military. You'll need a high school diploma or a GED to qualify for most branches of the military. For branches that still require a GED or a diploma, the required score varies though, depending on which one you have. If you've passed the GED exam, you'll have to aim for at least a score of 50. With a high school diploma, that's where scores get a little bit more varied. You'll need a minimum score of 31 for the Air Force, Army, and Marine Corps. The Coast Guard requires a 36, which is the highest required AFQT score. If you want to enlist in the Navy, you'll need at least a 35. If your AFQT score is higher than minimum, that's great. This opens up additional job options and potentially more career growth, and maybe even some bonuses. Once you get your ASVAB results, you'll see 3 key things: your standard scores, your composite or line scores, and your AFQT score. Let's quickly review what these mean and why they matter. Your standard scores tell you how you did on each subtest. The composite or line scores decide which military jobs you qualify for. And the big one, your AFQT score, tells you whether or not you're eligible to enlist. Don't stress if your scores aren't exactly where you want them to be quite yet. I'm here to give you some steps that you can take to improve your scores and better position yourself for your dream military job. First, pinpoint your strengths and weak areas. Look at which subtests brought down your score and which ones you excelled in. While it's important to address the weaker areas to meet minimum requirements, excelling in your strong areas can offset a lower score in other sections. This balance can improve your overall test outcome, especially for composite scores or percentile rankings, which are crucial when it comes to qualifying for jobs. Next, study smarter. Spend more time on the sections you struggled with, especially the ones that make up the composite score for the job that you want. Using good study resources can really make a big difference. Study.com's Asvab test prep resources can help with personalized plans and practice tests to get you back on track. In fact, 92% of users pass the Asvab after prepping with Study.com. Taking a practice test can really help you zero in on what you know and what you don't know. Watch lessons to review the material that you're less confident in. If you feel like you know a topic well, do practice problems and quiz yourself. If you notice you're missing a lot of questions, go back and review the lesson to make sure that you really know the material. A solid prep plan can really help you boost your score. You can always retake the Asvab as well, but with a few caveats. You'll need to wait 30 days before your first 2 retests, and after that it's a 6-month wait if you want to try again. So definitely use the time that you have to your advantage. Also, keep in mind that you can use your Asvab scores for up to 2 years to enlist, so make sure you plan accordingly. If you need to retake the Asvab, consider using Study.com's Asvab study guide and test prep resources, and really zero in on what you need to study. And remember, even if you don't get the role that you wanted, there might be other military jobs that would be a good fit for you. The goal is to maximize your strengths. And that's the rundown on Asvab scores and what they mean for your career. Whether you're just starting to study or already have some scores to interpret, understanding what these numbers mean can help you begin your military career with confidence and help you land your dream job. If this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment with any questions or topics that you want us to cover, and don't forget to subscribe for more US military test prep content. You've got this, and I'll see you in the next video.